In this video, I'm going to show you how to install performance front brake calipers on this Cadillac Escalade. Let's get into it. Take the center cap off. I'm just going to use a straight blade screwdriver. I'm just going to put a rag in between the wheel, just so I don't mark up the wheel. Slide that cap off. Using a 22mm socket, take the lug nuts off. Remove the wheel. Take these two bolts out. Use a 19mm socket. Take those bolts out. Grab the caliper, slide it off. Just going to use a caliper hanger. You can always use a bungee cord. And just hook it out of the way. Make sure there's no tension on the brake hose. We'll take the brake pads off. I'm just going to use a screwdriver just to help pry them off. Set those aside. These two bolts, you want to remove those. Use an 18mm socket. Slide the bracket off. We're going to take the bracket off the caliper, use a 19mm wrench on the inside here, and then 19mm socket. Take that bolt out, set that aside. Do the same on this side. Now the caliper is separated. Just take a little brake caliper grease or some silicone grease. Just put it on where the pad slides are going to be, where the tins are going to be. Line those up. Just push those down. Do the same on this side. Just a thin coat. Slide the bracket over the rotor. Take the bolts. You can put a little thread lock adhesive on the bolts. Get those started. We'll torque those bolts to 148 foot-pounds. Take the brake pads, line those up. Put the outside pad on, and the larger pad goes on the inside. Slide the caliper over the brake pads. Take the bolts, get those started. Tighten those down. Torque those bolts to 74 foot-pounds. Before we switch the hose over, we want to make sure you have plenty of brake fluid in the master cylinder reservoir. Pop the cap off and just top off the fluid. Be careful not to spill it. There is a min-max line, so right around the max line is good. Put the cap back on. Take the cap off the bleeder screw, set that aside. Using a 10mm wrench, we're just going to loosen this up. Just break it free. That's good. Take the banjo bolt out, and there's 2 seals on here. One seal is going to go at the base of the bolt, and the other is going to go on the other side of the line. So the line's going to go in the middle, and the seals are going to go on both sides. Set that aside. We'll take the line out. We're going to do this pretty quickly. We don't want to lose a lot of fluid. Take an 11mm socket, loosen this banjo bolt. Just make sure you have safety glasses on. It could spray. Just have a drip tray to catch any of the fluid. I'm just going to use some pliers just to hold the old seal. There we go. If you do it the other way, it grips it a little better. Slide this out. Make sure this looks pretty clean. You could use a wire brush to clean this up, or a rag. That looks pretty clean. Just wipe it down. No corrosion. Take the banjo bolt, one seal, the other seal, and line it up with the caliper. Get that started. And we'll torque that bolt to 30 foot-pounds. Now we're going to let this gravity bleed for a little bit. The brake fluid is going to come through the hoses and fill up the caliper and start coming out the bleeder. After that's done, we'll close it off and then bleed them conventionally. And it started dripping, so we're just going to close this up. Now with an assistant, I'm going to have them pump the brake pedal. Go ahead and pump the brake pedal. Keep going. After about 5 times, the pedal should get a little stiffer. All right, now you can hold it. While they're holding it down, I'm just going to open the bleeder screw. Some of the air came out. Now close it up. All right, go ahead, pump it again. After about 3 times, go ahead and hold it. And then open it up. Not much air there. We'll do it one more time. Go ahead, pump it up. And hold it. Open it up. And no more air. That's good. Close the bleeder screw. Snug that down. Put the cap on. And if you're doing any other calipers, you want to move on to the next one. I'm just going to clean this up. Just use a little brake parts cleaner. All right, that's good. Now I'll put the wheel on. And the lug nuts. Get those started. Now I'm going to torque the lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Now install the center cap. You can see where there is a picture of where the valve stem is. Try to line that up and just tap it on. Double check your brake fluid level. You want to top it off with the correct brake fluid. You can see on the cap it says .3. And just go up to the max line, right about there. Close the top. Wipe it off, you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.